We got 15. We got 15, 16 with you. Fucking ask Sapphire to join. God damn it. All right, welcome to the Dutch Grand Prix. This is Zanderborg. This is LOR, Lights Out Racing. Assist 2. Once again, we are on, I'm not quite sure which of the races I think this is, that was mentioned before, but it doesn't matter. This is Anderburg. This is a new track. It's twisty, it's uphill. It actually feels like you're up a lot of hills, but being in the Netherlands, it's very quite flat, and the drivers are currently lining up on the grid right now. It's looking a little overcast, so we're going to go live down to the racetrack, and I'm joined by the one and only, the very wonderful, the very magical, and very experienced, legendary Nihai. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Doing great. Hopefully I can live up to all those precursors you laid out. But yeah, looking forward to another race here, and glad to be with you.
Glad to be with you. So yeah, Nihai, I have no idea about any strategy on this circuit. All I can tell you right now at the moment is it's currently overcast. There could be some rain a little further into the qualifying session. However, we only have 16 minutes of qualifying. I think the rain might come towards the end. So temperature currently at the moment is 19 degrees in the air, 28 degrees on track. We've got a lot of these guys, as you know, that are currently, we've got some great names here on the list. Yoda, Dick Tucker there, Solo Polar, Garbage, Freeware. We've mentioned all these guys multiple times. Adiro, or Adrian, Duck Lovers, Chen J, Swifty, Macau. So we have a lot of PC guys here. And we also have some new names there. There's Sapphire there. It's joined, I think, as a reserve last minute. And Louise Sintinga, yeah, you probably can help me out with that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we see a lot of guys here that have raced in the same track with Assist 1 and non-assists. So, yeah, as you mentioned, some familiar names with Dick Tucker, Duck Lovers, Pile of Garbage, Freeware. So they know this track by now. They've raced it twice already. And then we have some new faces. But as you mentioned, our first race in Assist 1 was dry, and then our non-assist race this past Tuesday was in wet conditions. So we'll see how this plays out today, but we'll see what the strategy of the more experienced drivers that have had to go through 2 races already, how that works, what they learned from their experiences there, and how that plays out with some of the newer people, at least to this track, since this is the first time that this track is in the game, new for 2020.
Excellent. Have you raced on this track very often yourself?
Outside of Assist 1, I haven't really raced on it much now. So, yeah, it was my first time as well. So, it's pretty technical. You have a lot of areas you can mess up, and there's not a lot of room for error because you have walls on almost every side. So
and sand as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and I am seeing some spots of rain, but I believe it's still, the weather forecast is it's dropping the track. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. I'm now ignoring Jeff. I got some new FIA stuff, and somebody was speeding in the pit track there. Yeah, I really love those first couple of corners there. It goes down. It feels like it goes down. The elevation change on this track is not very much, even though it appears to look like it, and especially as you're driving. However, after you pass the first corners, like first 2, 3, I think 4, 5, you go down into this little banking area and it kind of sweeps to the left. Really tricky under the brakes, I think. And also you'll probably see, I think right now, yes, we're on board. That was Yoda. He just took that corner there in the Renault. So that's the corner I was talking about, where it's kind of like there's multiple overtaking opportunities. So I'm a little bit mumbling my words. Kind of like reminds me a little bit of China, but without the banking. So,
yeah,
and the first couple of corners of China where you can kind of go on the inside there. There's multiple lines in and out of there. And so sets the fastest lap there. I'm seeing lots of purples all over the thing, but that's because, obviously we are seeing these first drivers starting to set their first laps.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of these corners have kind of late apexes, and so you can either choose, there's lots of different ways you can choose to enter the corner and choose your line through the corner. So we saw it a couple times in the last race, especially in the wet, when it's easy to lock up and go a bit deep. But you see a lot of overtakes happening around these corners, or at least contested corners.
And during your league race that you had, that you mentioned earlier, how many, was there safety cars at all?
I think we had, it's been a while now, but I think we had just virtual safety cars. I don't think we ever had a full safety car.
Oh, wow. It's been a while already. I mean, I thought I thought this game's only been out a couple of
I mean,
months.
a week, right? That's long enough to forget something, right? But
Exactly. Yes, and I do apologise. I don't have anything. I do not have any information that I have researched for Knee High this evening. I think we will leave that up to our other commentators.
maybe we should throw that question out to the Twitch
yeah.
chat and see if they can come up with what my name means today.
Yes, exactly. Somebody was saying, I think Rez, welcome Rez. He says stream is frozen. I think that's better. Let's go, AJ. Send it. I don't know if AJ should send it, but he should definitely deliver it. Signed, sealed, and delivered. As we're looking at the kind of usual at the moment, freeware at the top, Dick Tucker, the cow, duck lovers. Adrian there, I think he's pulling in for a reserve. And with the DMR League, he's the main man of the DMR League there. Yoda in P6. So Sapphire's not too bad there. He's a newcomer there. Solo, his teammate, they're in the pit, setting 111s, but the leaders at the moment are setting 109s. I might have to pause the feed for 1 second just so that I can pull up something with the telemetry so I can get it a little bit more updated for what I need. Thank you, Codemasters, for not allowing us the opportunity to unpause when you're a spectator, because we are not racing.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see some rain come down now.
Yep. We're expecting rain. We are expecting rain in 10 minutes' time. So right towards the end, and obviously these drivers are aware of the situation. They need to get out there and they need to set some laps as quickly as possible. So
yeah, we're seeing already in the 109s, and so as it gets more wet, it's going to be hard for these people towards the bottom of the grid to set any faster times than that.
At the moment, the target, the freeway, is a 109. Point at that purple on a black background makes it very, very difficult to see. Get into the Codemasters, could probably do a little bit of a better colour spectrum there, but 109.53, I believe it is. My telemetry is still playing up a little bit, so I'm not getting the updated information I would like to have, but I would not also like to pause everything that's going on. Otherwise our poor audience out there is going to see just a paused race director screen. Now, I can't really tell who's on a flying lap or not. So, prodigy there, so freeway can improve, he's in the box. Chen J's slow at the moment, yellow, somebody probably just pulling aside there. I think we might go on board with Chen J. Chen J is doing quite well in the championship standings, I believe. So he's building up here around the final couple of corners. This big sweeping bank corner here. He's going to get ready, saving all his energy, and should get ready to deploy it and just go Chen J down the main straight. No, he's not. He's going to box, actually.
I think he might be out of fuel there.
Oh, he's out of fuel. Okay, good call. Good call. Yeah, I'm not much of a race driver myself, so I've not really had that much of the opportunity to run out of fuel.
Well, I think if you run out of fuel, don't you get disqualified from the session because you're running light? I think it's viewed as cheating if you're running your car too light to try to get more pace out of the car.
Everybody's boxing. Everybody's boxing.
I think we're seeing the conditions, or at least the track, get a little too wet now.
Yeah.
For the top.
Come on, guys. Give us something to be excited about. This is TV exposure right now. Look at this. These companies spend millions of dollars right now to put all this advertising on your car, and there's no cars on the track. At least give us some running time. Must agree with that. It's not much to commentate if there's nobody out on track. Well, here we go. The pink Mercedes, aka the Racing Point. That is Adam. He is going to. What's he on right now? His times. P6 not quite. My telemetry is really not working for me right now, which is unfortunate. Because I like to see the timing board highlighting with purples and greens and reds and whites. He's going to cross the line. Let's see if he can improve. 110.29. He's starting an outlap now. So this is it.
I think AD3RO is on a hot lap right now.
Yeah, just started an outlap. Good call. I caught him up at the end of it, so we'll follow him. We'll see what he can do. This is the bank that I was talking about. It's tough. It feels like it's like, do you brake earlier, do you brake later? A little twitch coming out of there. You can see the raindrops on the camera that's mounted, the T camera that's mounted above the driver. It's a lot worse when you are the driver. You got not much to see. You have this big halo also in the world, in the way that these drivers have to put up with in the last couple of years, but they've managed to handling it quite well. Here we go, sweeping through. He's in sector 2 right now. This is going to be a big corner, and he's backed off. So
yeah, I guess he
P8.
just wasn't able to.
Oh, here we go. P8.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at pile of garbage. He's on an outlap. Where is he at the moment? He's actually behind 83 RO that you saw. So he's warming up his tyres. Still on the softs. Obviously, it's not going to be the crossover point just yet because the track is just got some sprinkles of rain. That is not going to be anywhere near the switchover zone. However, it's colder, a little colder, not that much colder than what we saw. So, pile of garbage now has to switch it on, and he is. He's now got the call from his team saying, okay, this is your time, you're in P8. What can you do? Outlap, across the line, flat out. 315, 17, 19, 20, 21 kilometers an hour. There he is. He's going to peak at that. Heavy on the brakings into that first corner. Oh, big oversteer, and that's going to cost him a lot of time. He's going to have to bank off on that. So, yeah, it's slippery there for sure. That's an indication to the other teams to say, okay, this is where you're going to lose some time on it.
Yeah, I think the track's getting a little too wet now for the slicks. But as you mentioned, it might not be enough. There might not be enough water on the track right now for intermediates yet. So I don't think we're going to see any people really take a risk any longer.
And certainly interesting too, if you think about that. Like nobody's even bothered to go with the medium tires. Now, I'd imagine that the softer tires are obviously better when it's dry conditions. But did the mediums perform better under, cooler conditions?
I'm not sure. I mean, the heat of the track obviously affects the tire wear, how fast it wears. So,
if we are going into a dry condition for the race tomorrow, then Pile of Garbage is about to now start his lap after he abandoned the last one. But he still has more pace in the car. Let's see, he's got round 2, take 2. He's hopefully learned his mistakes from the first issue there, as Solo's retired from the session. He's like boxing, he's had enough here. Chenjay's retired as these drivers realise there's not going to be not much more that they can do, but Chenjay's obviously sitting comfortably in P3. Pile of Garbage, P9. He knows he can get up further in the grid here, obviously, too, because he was only one of 3 cars at the moment on track. But he has getting some good exposure time for the AlphaTauri, and obviously some good air time as we talk about Pile of Garbage. Doing some lap times around here in Zanderborg in these little tricky conditions, but he's backed off now. So that is also game over. As you start seeing Dick Tucker and other drivers retire from the session, they are basically saying it is over. We are going to just prepare ourselves for the race now. And somebody has pointed out there, that's lag 57, that a wet race, yay. Let's hope so. I am showing some telemetry data saying in 10-15 minutes that it's going to be wet. However, I'm not quite sure if they're giving me the information about the next day or the current.
Yeah, from one of the drivers, I think I've heard that it's going to be a wet start and then dry out towards the end.
This is exciting then. I'm excited about it. Are you excited that it's going to be a wet race then? We're going to mix up the field a little bit then.
Yeah, it definitely provides a little more entertainment for our viewers. Yeah, as we're seeing everyone kind of retire now.
So yeah, sorry, as I was saying before, I didn't mean to cut you off there, about the hard tires. The medium tires, because if now these guys realize that, hey, okay, so, and then again, if they are realizing that it's going to be a wet race, perhaps there's no point in actually going out and trying to set your fastest time on the medium compounds. If you do have to start the race in wet conditions, they most likely will have to just choose either inters or wets anyway. So throw the whole dry tires out the door.
Yeah. If it's a wet race start, they'll get to choose the tires, or they'll either be able to choose between intermediates or wets. So.
Yeah. And that's
that won't be
interesting
good.
too, because we have seen before in races, and I have not seen so much in league races, and I hope my leg is not glitching too much there as I see the circle icon of death, shall we say, the loading icon. That and we've seen some exciting races in F1. I think it was also Silverstone, which we will have this weekend, which I'm looking forward to again. Obviously, I'm looking forward to any Formula One race right now, especially
Yeah.
this far delayed. This will be the fifth race, shall we say now, of this 2020 season. That's crazy to say that during August. However, still good. It is a pity, obviously, about Sergio Perez, but I did ask the question, I think, to some people, like whether or not, like, did he return to Mexico during the quarantine session, like, because obviously they had
I
the time between Hungary.
I heard he went to Italy.
Now, I had actually heard he visited his grandmother or one family member that was sick or something, and he took a quick flight there, and somehow contracted the virus between, obviously, the flight there, his time in Mexico, and coming back, because he had tested negative, obviously, in that prior weekend during the race. So, a bit of a risk, but then again, too, you also say, well, family should also come first. So, that's one there. But however, I do want to see the Hulk. I was very disappointed to not see the Hulk.
Yeah.
With these car issues. I mean, what's the worst time you could ever restart your possible chances of getting another Formula One drive again? And then what happens? The car has an issue where you can't even start the race. How disappointing is that?
Yeah, I think we have Luis Maya on at least he's trying for a hot lap right now. Doesn't look like he's going too fast, though, currently.
It's P13, yeah. Soft tires. I'm really saddened by the race control not giving me the right telemetry information. Usually I had that. I could even tell you right now how fast these second times are. We can kind of see it up in the screen.
I think
37.
He's 6 seconds. Yeah, he's 6 seconds up on his first. So.
Yeah, he needs to be in the 30 range right now if he's going to even tussle with Freeware, Tucker, and Tenjay, which most likely right now will line out the top three there. So looking good for Freeware and Tucker again. Tenjay, always in the mix. Macau, we know Macau can win races. He's an Australian. He likes the shoeies. He's the Daniel Ricciardo, last of the late breakers. And I'm also Australian, so I'm a little biased towards another fellow Australian driver. But that is to be expected. And I'm excited to see how well Sapphire will do. Sapphire's first league race. So he will be popping his league race cherry, shall we say. In the first way. But I'm sure he'll also be very, how would you call it? Like, very extra cautionary respective of other league racing drivers and not to get anybody's way being a first time on.
Yeah, I think it's good just to maybe take a race or two just to gauge the competition and learn how other drivers, or at least how like the league, the atmosphere of the league is. So
I believe he survives a lot of 5-lapping carnage races that generally occur anyway. So Freeware, the German driver in the Racing Point, on pole right now with Dick Tucker. Unfortunately, we had a very early lap set, so nothing's going to be exciting towards the end of the qualifying session, but we are expecting a wet race, according to our fans there. That's so. I didn't get a chance to go through the order. We're going to have a formation lap, and who is this? Tracks to wet start to light rain. Wow, all these guys are like weather experts there. Thank you very much for that. So I'm sure not even the Formula One teams at the end of the day really get it. Here we go. Now I'm getting some updated telemetry information about the race. And thank you very much for the programmer who is helping right now. And I will give a big shout out to him when we can sort through all the bugs and everything of this programming tools that we're using. And I will do that at some point in the future once we sort through it. So we're showing right now, currently it's going to be wet. But track 27, air 19. So it's a light rain. I don't think it's a heavy rain, as you can see. overcast, but doesn't look like it's going to get that much heavier in 30 minutes time. But then again, around 45 minutes time into the race, we are going to see some dry conditions, perhaps. The sun shining over the beautiful land of the Netherlands. Have you ever visited the Netherlands? I actually lived in the Netherlands for about 6 months. A beautiful country. I love it. People, awesome.
Yeah, the only time I've been there is when I went through the airport in Amsterdam.
So. I believe you can smell certain substances as you exit. But you just and that was one of the things that surprised me when I was exiting the airport and had almost like a kind of little smoking lounge, and it was literally like as you would kind of expect from Amsterdam. Although we do not promote any of that, anything that's perhaps illegal in some countries or not.
Yeah,
that is Amsterdam, and
a lot of
aside
stuff
from
legal
that,
there.
let's not brand. The thing is, I like to brand the country as just something that's associated with that, because they have the best flower industry. They have the biggest flower market in the world. Have you seen the size of their flower markets? You can walk through that for an hour.
Did you watch the Red Bull promo video where I think Max and Albon went driving through I think it was the introduction to the Zandvoort
factory or something like that, isn't it? It's like, yes, there is so much culture there. There's so much arts. It's just unfortunately always branded, I think, by a tourism kind of thing where, people, they stereotype a country for, as we were kind of saying before, certain things that they are known for, but there's so much more known in that country than just what it is. And if you ever get a chance to visit this country, and obviously this track as well, next year, if you want to be able to visit this year, then you'll be super excited and you'll have a blast, because I loved it, and I'm sure I haven't met many people that have actually ever visited the Netherlands and said they had a bad time. So drivers lining up, we expect it. Wet conditions. Would you like to, Nihai, give us a run through the whole start of the race, please?
Sure. All right, here come the lights. See if we get a bugged start here, but the lights are out for us. Let's see. And we're away. Here we have Freeware off the start, getting a great getaway. Dick Tucker falling back a little bit as Chen tries to go up the outside. We have Milkow there, taking up, I think, 2 places, going up the inside. Oh, we have a crash already. 2 cars spinning there, I think. Looks like Dick Tucker and Milkow both being taken out off the start there. I'm not sure if we'll get a VSC here, but that was very unfortunate off the start there. Turn 1, as we mentioned, very tricky, especially on a congested start.
Yeah, exactly. As you said, you called it exactly. I managed to just catch the angle there. Dick Tucker there. Oh.
Another 2 drivers out. Prodigy and Chen, it looks like, stuck in the wall still. Does not show him he's retired yet, but huge crash there. I think that was off of turn 6 into the gravel.
Yeah, Chen Jay with a ton of damage. Also Dick Tucker there. So these championship leaders are in big trouble right now. I guess these tricky conditions have caught him out. This is a great opportunity for other drivers right now. Pile of garbage up the P5 there. Adriel, I really never understand why he gives me a complicated name. I shall call him Adam from now on. I'm surprising no safety car, but then again, we still have everybody running on track, but there was a big crash, wasn't there? Sapphire's up to P6. Good job for the new driver in the league. But Freeware is in P1. Great lead. Well, that's a great lead. I just want to overspeed that. It's actually Duck Lovers has a great lead over Yoda there. So as Sapphire gets a time penalty as a commentator cursed, his great start for a new driver. It looks like Swifty's going to make a pass there. Pass Cynthia. It's going to be a tongue twister right there.
I think we're having some. I think we're having some stream issues. You might want to either cut down on your network usage.
I'm going to just quickly pause this for 1 second and close my telemetry software down. It might be just conflicting of everything, so let's just eliminate the possible problems. I'd rather have the stream better than having telemetry. So we'll see. But I have a good connection, so I'm surprised that my computer just got.
Yeah.
That's AJ down. It's AJ, P15. AJ, there is the Williams driver just recovering from playing sandcastles. Not a good idea today, Mr. AJ. You need to be on the track. Play sandcastles another time. Macau, back in 2013. He's all over the back of Iron Eyes. You can see Iron Eyes in here. Late. We'll have a huge battle there between these guys.
Yeah, just a brief update here to see position changes. We have Duck Lovers in P2 right now, made up 3 spots, as well as Yoda off the start there. And then the big losers of the start there were Dick Tucker, Milkow, and then Chenge losing 14 places back in P17 all the way at the back.
All the way at the back, that's right. But I don't think at the end of the day, 2 in lap 3, and Macau's gone, I've had it. I'm having a cow right now. Will he get a front wing change? Yes, it is. And they still haven't fixed that yet in Codemasters as well, because it still shows their front wing as they box on the spectator view. So essentially they're ghosting another front wing over top of another wing. Let's hope that these teams have brought a lot of front wings to this track this evening, because judging by the conditions right now and judging by how these drivers are driving, they probably will need a few. Somebody was mentioning to me the other day that it should take that any damage that drivers do out of the car should come out of their salary, especially at like $20,000 or $30,000, I guess, for a front wing. And all of a sudden they start getting hurt in the pocket. They might start thinking about the moves that they take. As Dick Lover has just said that he's going to move over his teammate right now. So let's see. I can barely see Dick Tucker as I'm on board with Cynthia. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Dick Tucker's all at the back of Iron Eyes. We probably need to go to the external camera here so we can see anything that's going on. Oh, Stimpy's really just Iron Eyes sliding all out of that corner. Maybe he's doing it deliberately or not sometimes, but big banking corner here.
This banked corner coming out especially when the track is wet on these inters, you have to have some cojones to keep your pedal to the metal there to fully accelerating out of that corner, because it's very easy to power slide and totally lose it. We saw that, I think, last race in the non-assists. Off the safety car restart, we saw, I think, 2 retirements off that corner. So it's a very tricky exit to figure out there.
Yeah, and we've seen like some of these drivers, as you mentioned, have had experience on this track. I guess some other drivers haven't. Unfortunately, Sapphire had retired there. He might have had an accident. We missed it, but anyway, good luck on him. First league race, but these are tricky conditions. He's also with a lot of fast drivers, so hey, you got to be in it to try. And he was, but it's over. But yeah, Rez to just mention there, must have been a CPU thing. That's right. Hopefully it's fixed better, because I was running some software that is still quite better right now, shall we say, beta better, however you want to pronounce it. And it could have been causing some lag glitches, so I hope that it's better for everybody right now. So it's all about what you guys can see rather than what I can see. And Dick Tucker still all over the back of his teammate. I don't know if there's going to be any strategy between Iron Eyes and Dick Tucker there.
Ooh, we saw him have to lift there slightly. Looks like he just glanced off the wall there slightly, so lucky to get away without any damage there.
Also, they're catching Lewis at a fast pace right now. I wonder if they're working together, Tangent as a team. Oh, look at Iron Eyes sliding over the place. It looks almost like a big computer glitch. He looks like he's the Black Cat in the Matrix right now, where you can just see a deja vu of what's happening, because it was so glitchy, and also Dick Tucker really twitching like crazy. It looks like at the moment right now, anybody just a little oversteer or understeer and bang, you're off and you're in the wall and your race is over.
Yeah, it looks like we have a spin at the front there with Duck Lovers going off. So he loses 4 places, or 3 places it looks like, with that spin there.
Yeah, I'm surprised. This is the Duck Lovers. We thought the Duck Lovers was the wet weather master. We've seen him before in these conditions.
Yeah,
AKA the Duck. I mean, you know,
water is his home.
It's exactly so. Maybe the Duck is like he does have a weakness. Then is that a connection issue or whatever? From our third place man, Pilot Garbage, will get past him because he's got a disconnection. There's Adrian there in the racing point. He's in P4. Duck Lovers is going to swim now in the box. So he's had enough. He's going to change those tyres. I'm surprised. I don't quite know much about even the tyre strategy in the dry. I don't know what tyre strategy you would take. He's going to exit the box in the inter still, so there's no time for wet. You can see it's still pretty dry-esque, shall we say. Still wet, but it's not getting any wetter.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty constant right now.
It is perfect conditions for the duck, but Chloe's not doing much about it.
Yeah, Pilot Garbage, though, starting from 8th all the way up to 3rd now, so he has a good chance of winning a podium here.
Still the big squabble there between the Ferrari drivers. Although Dick Tucker's all over the back now of the McLaren of Lewis.
Yeah, looks like
it is.
Looks like Dick Tucker was finally able to get past Ionides there. He's going to try to make up some positions through the field here after that terrible start.
There's some team orders here. He's lining them up now. Where would you do it if we're on board with Dick Tucker right now? Oh, as he slides there, this is these tricky corners. Like, where would you make the pass? Where are the overtaking places, even in the dry, let alone the wet?
I think it's a lot of it depends on this exit right here, this corner. If you can keep it pedal to the metal all the way through here and maintain traction, you can get the slipstream and perhaps be in a position to go down the inside. Like he's just slightly, Dick Tucker is slightly too far back there, as he makes a little bit of contact there with Louise.
Yeah, that's a little Dick Tucker tap there saying, "Hey, Lewis, I'm here. Welcome, and don't make any mistakes because I will pounce on you. Otherwise, Lewis is like, I'm having none of that. Thank you very much. I'm back up the road, and you can try that again in the next lap as we have a virtual safety car."
Yep, first virtual safety car. Looks like Peregrinator went off in Sector 1. Sector 1, I believe, causing our first safety car, or virtual safety car. So we won't quite see the field bunch up, which is a bit unfortunate, but...
So it looks like our Racing Point driver has joined again, Adrian, or AD3RO trademarked. I can't say it actually, I'm sorry. It's trademarked. I didn't have the royalties to say your name, aka we'll give you something else to say. He's in the pink Mercedes there. They're still struggling right now with all the other teams still complaining about their brake bias has been copied from a lot of things copied from the Mercedes, but it didn't seem to work out too well. And on AKA, do not listen right now if you've not watched the last race. But spoilers ahead that the Mercedes, the pink Mercedes, the Racing Point is not as great as people have been expecting, especially in the last race.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like copying a car necessarily will give you wins, or even podiums. I don't think they've even gotten a podium this year yet. So we'll see what their engineers can do to try to add performance. Because when you're not designing a car from the ground up, you don't necessarily know how all the components work with that specific design. So they might have trouble.
Exactly. As we're going to go on board with
packages.
Dick Tucker, the Dick Tucker, still working on the back of Lewis. He's been struggling a few laps now behind Lewis, once again trying to find a way. And then in the meantime, is he going to make a dive up the inside there? He's got to make it stick side by side. He's not going to have the racing line. Can he risk it around the outside? No, he can't. He's going to
try to cut back. Yeah, he's trying to cut back there. Didn't quite pull it off. See what he does in the next corner here. Looks like he covers the inside, tries to go to the outside. See, good racing here, but Louise doing a great job of covering and maintaining the apex of the corner, forcing Dick Tucker to take the wide line. We'll see how good of an exit Dick Tucker gets here. Oh boy, we might see some contact.
Yeah, it's anybody's call. What would you do right now? Which is the breaking point you can? Even if you can't swing across. He's just going to have to commit Dick Tucker on the inside there. Will that give him traction or not? We have to go on the external cam so we can see this action.
Yeah, he gauged that braking point perfectly there and clean overtake. So good racing with those two to keep it clean.
As Dick Tucker, he's got Solo up ahead. But now his teammate, Ironide, is going to be all over the back of Lewis, so Lewis can possibly lose a position again. He doesn't want to lose another one. He's been pretty good there right now in the McLaren. And the new McLaren over is going to be all nice and orange there. It's sponsored now by Gulf Oil. Whether we'll see that update occur during the Formula 1 game in the future. But however, we are racing with what we have right now in the virtual racing. Dick Tucker now all over the back of Lewis. Solo.
Cirillo, yeah.
What can you do about the Solo?
We'll see if he can replicate his overtake on Luis here.
He's meanwhile in the back, but we won't cover it right now because this is a great battle up front. That Duck Lovers looks like he's got up in the points paying position. And Macau has as well. A Sniffy must have made a lot of places. But Dick Tucker looks like he's going to make it on the inside. You can commentate this one, you're a driver.
Yeah, exact same move that he tried last lap on Luis, and that's 2 positions in 2 laps. So gauging his braking points perfectly, biding his time, waiting for the safe time to overtake, not trying too hard and forcing the mistakes from the drivers ahead. So great racing from him.
Good job from Dick, as we have seen before. Now his teammate, Ionides in P9, now he's got a battle with Lewis. What can he do to get past Lewis? Because he's not quite the Dick Tuber level, shall we say, at this point right now, because he is in the same car, the same machine, same technology, same tires, I believe, as well at the moment. So,
yeah, he also has to worry about Duck Lovers coming up behind him rapidly. It's already a tenth difference between the two, and Duck Lovers is going to get past him. Looks like Duck Lovers tries to cut back. Ionides goes wide onto that curve where you lose a lot of the traction on your exit. So Duck Lovers gains that position. We'll see if Ionides... Oh, he backs off a bit there. So Duck Lovers gets up the inside and takes that position from Ionides. So
Ionides is going to struggle right now because we expect Duck. This is Duck conditions. But whether or not Macau now can get past Ionides. So Ionides is going to be... He's really struggling right now in that Ferrari. Look at this. He's like losing some places. He's already like... He's been on the team radio at the moment. They're saying his teammate's already up in the P6. He's down to P10. He's almost out of the points position. He's got the Macau all over the back of him.
He's feeling like Sebastian Vettel right now.
Oh, but Chenjay's getting past Macau as well, so there's a 3-way battle here.
Yeah. We're seeing this battle for 10th really light up here. People really want the point. So we'll see what Chenj and Macau do here through this second sector. Not really an overtaking opportunity through this section of the track.
Yeah, these guys race all the time at Emerald. They know each other. They know every corner. They know every braking point. They know how to respect their drivers, see if they even want to respect their friends and their drivers. Now it's all about who wants to get the win there. Oh, it looks like Chenjay's going to make the move on the inside there. Oh, and Ionide's going to lose 2 positions. I think as Macau's going to move ahead and go to P10, Chenjay is going to get P11, and Ionides loses 2 positions essentially in 2 corners. So he is going to be as red as that Ferrari right now in that cockpit unless he can do something, come back.
Yeah, that's 4 positions lost, I believe, in 2.5 laps. So that's not great.
It looks like Lewis has made a position past the Duck Lovers. So he's going, you know what? You might be the Duck, but I'm better in the wet weather conditions. But Duck Lovers saying, I'm going to have nothing about that. I have the Quack. And he gets the Quack right now down the main line. I think they call it the Quack. The Duck might call it the Quack. It is called the DRS. Is DRS enabled? I'm not even sure.
No, it's not enabled with the wet conditions, but...
Well, in his ear, he might have got the Quack. That might just be enough boost for him. He's got Solo up ahead still as Lewis pops that position.
Yeah, I think a lot of this race strategy right now just has to do with waiting for others to make mistakes and keeping yourself clean. So
much
we're seeing a lot of...
in the midfield.
Oh, I have another retirement with Synth.
That's a virtual safety car. Synth is struggling right now. He might have had some damage.
Not sure where.
For him, because I'd really like to see some of these other drivers get a possible chance against the usual guys. And this time, I guess we give you a little bit of a freeware, a shout out right now as he boxes. Freeware's aside, and he's going to the medium. So, are we seeing dry weather conditions? This is a gamble, or he had a 6-second lead over Yoda.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any rain come down at this point, so the track will be drying out, and that might be a great move from Freeware there.
Yep. Oh, Yoda's box for the hards, so he's got a little different strategy there to Freeware. Public Garbage decided to stay out there at the moment as he's moved up in the P2. That was good for him. Duck Lovers gets past Solo under the virtual safety car. Actually, they're resuming racing right now, so we're back on town. Macau as well. So as Solo and Chenjay box. So a good strategy call perhaps from Freeware there to switch, but let's see his pace. Fortunately, I don't have the telemetry, so I'm not going to give you information of what he's going to do on those medium compounds, but we can obviously see on track.
We'll see what time he does through sector 2, but he's looking a bit ginger right now. Not really accelerating too hard on these corners, so it might be a little too wet still. As we see, Yoda already lost his position. He pitted for the hards, and he's lost 2 positions now to those on the intermediates.
He's got Dick Tucker, and no, he's got it's like 4 positions. Wow, those hard tires are obviously struggling to get up the temperature right now. He is either going to have to sit back and lose his positions. We have a virtual safety car that will help him.
Pile of garbage caught only a 10th. It was a 10th in between him and Freeware. And then we got another virtual safety car. That might have saved Freeware there. Because it looked like Pile of Garbage was closing the gap really rapidly there. I think that switch to the slicks was maybe a bit too early there from Freeware and Yoda.
It is definitely now the call. That was a brave call. That's kind of the call that we do see from teams like Williams and AlphaTauri and other teams. We don't really see it from Racing Point so much. Sorry, Haas, yes, exactly. Haas. Duck Lovers is boxed as well. So Duck Lovers has decided. Unfortunately, that might have been called Jeff, and Jeff might be under review again. No, he's actually back out again on the hard tires. So he must have damage.
No, I think he was just making the switch from intermediates to the slicks.
Oh, sorry, he might have done that exactly.
A Pile of Garbage taking a move down the inside and gets past Freeware there on his intermediates.
We're on board with Freeware right now. What can he do about the Pile of Garbage? He's probably sick of the Pile of Garbage, but no, he's really slow. He's having some issues right now. That's just the updates that we're getting. He's on those fresh mediums. Different strategy. He's got 6 seconds ahead of Strifty there. He's also made his way from the points position, so 6.7 seconds, but Strifty's gaining on him.
DRS is just enabled, so that is the call from Jeff for the slicks.
That's the call
with the FIA ruling DRS, so we'll probably see a ton of, as we see Pile of Garbage go back into the pits, we're going to see the pit lane really open up here.
Yep, that's Pile of Garbage. He has to box now. Jeff's giving him the call. Maybe it's just like Jeff's a busy man running down the pit lane. On the team radio to everybody, giving all the race engineers, all their race strategy. Time to box. Other drivers are boxing there. As you can see, Dick Tucker's boxing. Why is Dick Tucker boxing, actually? He was on the hard tires. Oh, he's serving a drive-through penalty. Oh,
yeah, I think...
Or a wing change. As I said...
I think a lot of drivers had a drive-through penalty there, because we saw Pile of Garbage. He went to the pits, but he's still on his 14-lap-old Inter, so he must have had a drive-through penalty. And, of course, they can't do the tire change on that. He'll have to go into the pits next lap and switch over to the slicks.
Naughty boys getting drive-through penalties. They get their little timeouts. They have to sit in the corner and sit there for 5 seconds and then jump back in their car and resume driving. This is looking good now for the... Well, looking great, obviously, for Freeware because now he gets a little bit seconds, 7.6 seconds up ahead of Adrian, who has the better tire, as we see at the moment, but he still has the box. He can't do 14 laps on those inters to the end, whereas we know Freeware can easily do those medium tires to the end, pending we have no more race and depending how slippery it is. So 7.6 second lead is very comfortable for him. Who else is good? Solo has gained a lot there too, but he has the box. And all the other drivers have decided to go on the hards or the mediums, so they're going to be going to the end now. As Pile of Garbage does box, so he's calling to his team. These tires are a pile of garbage right now, and he's got some fresh ones, so he's fine. He's back out, and he might slide back in, actually ahead of Solo. Solo was like down the road, almost 20 seconds there down the road.
It'll be close.
It's going to be close, exactly.
Ooh, I think he'll be able to keep that 4th position, although those tires. Oh, Cirilla's
Yep.
also on the
So
15 lap winters, so he will have
he'll
to
have to
pit.
box.
So Pile of Garbage has that 4th position.
Good strategy call there from the AlphaTauri team. So probably Garbage is there. He remember he tried towards the end. He tried to get his qualifying pace up there, but just could not get the traction. But he's up at the P4. This is looking good. Anything can happen at the front there. Let's have a look at Freeware. He's actually managed to gain right now on his teammate Adrian, that's running in the other AlphaTauri. 9.5
Yeah.
seconds. So now we're looking at this track conditions. Sorry.
Yeah, track conditions are definitely favoring the slicks now, and we're seeing that gap almost reach 10 seconds now between Adrian behind.
And there you have it. From the FIA, fastest lap goes to Freeware, so he's now putting down the marker. This is the tyre to be on. So anybody else that's left out there, which is obviously his teammate running in P2, who's slipping and sliding all over the place right now, going, what the hell's going on, Jeff? Why didn't you call me in the box earlier? I don't know. Something in Racing Point needs to be decided. That's something you need to decide there, Mr. Driver, with your team. But however, that's going to cost you. You could probably get behind Pile of Garbage right now if you box, as Solo has boxed, and he's getting rid of his inters. Obviously, at no point right now. Sorry, at some point right now.
Don't mean to interrupt, but we have a 3-way battle going on between Duck Lovers, Dick Tucker, and Swifty back for P5.
Yeah, good call. Thank you for that. We're on board with that. Go ahead.
Oh, Duck Lovers almost losing it there and dropping back a little bit. But if we go on board with Dick Tucker here as he gets a run on Swifty, we'll see what he can do into this next corner. We have these 2 high-speed corners here. Just a slight lift here. Coast
so
through.
Close. It's easy to lose a front wing, isn't it? He's going to try to
he's going to try the inside. Oh, a little bit of a touch there, but he makes the move done. And Duck Lovers slips up the inside as well. So two positions lost there from Swifty in that one corner. He'll be unhappy about that. We might see some complaining later in the chat.
They are on similar tire strategies too, so there's really nothing between them. Equal performance. Even though
all on the
Red
hearts.
goes faster, apparently. So, but what can the Red Bull driver, Duck Lovers, come back and hear about that? Sorry. As obviously we expected there, Adriel there is boxing. He's gone on to the medium compounds. He should be able to slot back out in front of Pile of Garbage, who is a little off the pace. So let's see how close that would be. This is exiting the pits there. No, he's going to exit the pits there, and he will regain a podium position there. And just behind him, you see in the final corner there, Pile of Garbage. But this big battle, as you can see here, between Dick Tucker, Dark Lovers, and Swifty, still on track. Ionides is actually right on close to the back of Chenjay right now. We'll go on board with that. That's the other Ferrari. That's the other Ferrari driver and teammate to Dick Tucker, who made that great move to get up in the P5. What can Ionides do about the Chenjay?
We will see. He's a little too far back now to make a move, but we'll see what kind of time he can make up here through the second sector.
I have to go on board with Duck Lovers as well. Looks like he's even gaining even more time there. Even more of a closer battle. It's very hard to keep within all these battles.
Yeah, I think Dick Tucker has gained a second on Pile of Garbage ahead already, as they can set their sights on that 4th place. We're seeing the time. We're seeing the time increase from P3 to P4.
Oh, it looks like they're actually going to drop in the McLaren driver of Lewis. Almost, I must have just commentated Kirsten because he was getting close and he just actually made a low oversteer moment. And now he's lost to both Macau as well, and he almost had a move on Swifty. So that's unfortunate. Both the Mercedes drivers get through there. And
I think he might be having connection issues because he just left the session.
That's very sad. I'd like to see these guys battling it out, but anyway, I'm sure he will be back. Still going to go back on board this little battle there, this 3-way battle as you've seen here between Dick Tucker and Duck Lovers. And you know Duck Lovers is quick in the wet. It looks like there's a move that Macau has got past. Maybe there's team orders between Macau and Swifty because that looked like it was way too easy. Macau's a little way out the road. He's almost 7 tenths of a second. Almost going to be out of. He's going to be a second out of. He's going to be out of DRS by the end of the lap. That's how much power, pace Macau has. He's got one thing on his mind right now. That is the duck. So the duck will have to either duck or do something about it because I expect the duck to be the wet weather master. But Duck's got Dick Tucker ahead of him, and Dick Tucker has Pile of Garbage ahead of him as well. So this 3-way battle could define how much time they're going to lose to Macau behind them.
Yeah, Duck and Dick Tucker will both be looking to get past pile of garbage as fast as possible, because we see that gap closing rapidly to Mikal behind.
Looks like Dick Tucker's teammate Inodes had made a move.
Oh,
Who's wide off there? That's pile of garbage.
yeah, Dick Tucker going alongside there.
Spinning in the sand. Once again, I keep telling these drivers, you can't play sandcastles. You're here to drive. I know it's lovely. You're by the beach.
Oh, and Adrian is disconnected as well. So that's P3 gone for him, and Dick Tucker is into the podium position.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. The computer does not drive the car.
Duck Lover's making a move around the outside of Dick Tucker here. At the end of Sector 1, can he pull it off? Looks like Dick Tucker breaks late there and goes through the corner.
Yep.
Brave move from Duck Lovers there.
Adrian's car is going to throw a spanner in the mix right there between these guys battling as his car's just slowing everybody down right now. He's probably struggling right now going effing this, effing that, effing internet. Why the hell are you not doing it? Because I was in a good position, but pile of garbage is also now past him. But there's not much you can do about it right now. It could be worse. You could actually be in a car that breaks down. But at least these cars do not break down. So that's Dick Tucker up in P3 there. He's got a lot of work to do. 14 seconds off the order. We didn't even mention Paul Freeway at the front there. Mikal even makes a move there past the pile of garbage, actually. So
yeah, Freeware absolutely in a class of his own, pulling up a 25-second gap to Yoda behind. So he is cruising in the front there.
It's only a matter of time now before Swifty will get past the AI driver, and there it is of Adrian. Chenjay will be next up the road to get past the Racing Point driver. It's unfortunate for him. He gets some reconnections, and Inodes further down. We had a little battle before he got ahead of Lewis. 3 West, that's the fastest lap. Just kind of setting a statement to Yoda saying, you can bring it, Mr. Yoda. You may be a Jedi Master, but I am the master on this track right now in the Netherlands. This is Zanderborg. This is lap 22 or 36 as well, too. It looks like the track conditions are improving a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like the track is pretty much dry at this point, so although it might be a little bit cold, they will be reaching their maximum performance here pretty soon.
And here we're going to go with Chenjay as he's battling it out with his fellow MRL driver of Swifty. Now, he knows too, if he does something wrong here, there's going to be lots and lots of Discord debates.
Ooh. Lots of weaving there as they head into turn 1, but Chen gets the move done.
So it looks like Adam's rejoined again, probably, as I said, cursing right now, going, I was in P3, now I'm in P9. Beep,
P10.
beep, 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 beep. That's all I can hear from his team radio right now, I'm sure of it. But Chenjay is up into P7, still battling it up with the Mercedes driver there. In P7, got past Swifty, probably on the team radio going, ha, 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 ha. Pile of garbage he has to get is up ahead there, and Mikal now, doing the Mikal, the Aussie driver. He's got the team spirit from all of Australia. We're like, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. What can he do about the Duck Lovers? It is wet, but guess what? Now Duck Lovers is in trouble because it's dry. And when it's dry, this is when the Australians start to strive, shall we say, because it's nowhere drier on the planet, apart from Antarctica, actually, and this is a fact, than Australia. So now it's Mikal's conditions, dry, and he's on the back of Duck Lovers. What can he do?
Sets the fastest lap, 1:12.6. So I think that's like 4/10 faster, 5/10 faster than anyone else on the track right now. So he has incredible pace.
Like I said, the hotter it gets, the better it is. Mikal's used to 50, 60, 70 degree temperatures in Australia. It's nothing of him to be right now. He wants it to be hot. Duck Lovers is like, no, I want it to be cold and raining. And Mikal's obviously at any moment right now, as we're on lap 23 of 36, and had set the fastest lap all over the back, just waiting to pounce on the Duck.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see that fight for 4th place between him. It looks like the gap between Dick Tucker and Duck Lovers has opened up a bit, so we'll see how this plays out as we have only looks like 10 laps left. No, 12 laps left.
It seems to me now that these drivers are getting pretty familiar with this new track. Like they're starting to really push the limits of where they can go, what they can do. Mikhail now has an opportunity, has a slipstream, you can go on board with him. And that was that was just easy actually. There might have been a little bit of a tap there, so we'll go back to. Oh no, that's still scrubbling. Nope. Looks like duck lovers did not want anything to do about it. Mikhail said, "No, I'm sorry, sir. These are dry conditions. I'm Australian. Let me have that position." And he's moved up with the P4. A pile of garbage is squabbling there behind Chen J, but it looks like he's dropping a lot of time now. He was getting close, but he's almost out of DRS range now, so we're going to keep on this battle right now with Duck Lovers and Macau, because Duck Lovers, once again, he's not going to be happy. He doesn't want to let that Australian get ahead of him. Duck Lovers right now is probably praying for more rain. However, I'm not quite sure of the forecast. Let us know, please, on the Twitch. Sorry, I've been ignoring some of the Twitch chats there, because there's been so much action on track. I haven't got a chance to glance at all our wonderful viewers watching the stream right now.
Yeah, we're seeing Mikhail close that gap by 0.2 this lap. Not quite in DRS range, but we'll see if he can get those 0.4 necessary this next lap. As he sets another fastest lap, improves by 1/10.
This is an Aussie on a mission right now.
Absolutely.
He has Dick Tucker up ahead. He knows he needs to get that podium. Obviously, we've seen Mikhail win races before. Mikhail is only a person that thinks about races right now. As an Australian, we only want to win. We don't want to come second. We want to come third. This is all we ever think about. This is all we're raised when we were children in Australia. As we eat Vegemite sandwiches, it's all about whether or not you can win a race. However, I think Freeway is going to have something to say about that, because he's 35 seconds ahead of Yoda. And Dick Tucker's there for 4 seconds behind. So unless Freeway, basically, who also has a pit stop in hand right now, so he could easily, if he wants to, set the fastest lap. Box, have a cup of coffee, or have some schnapps, shall we say. I think Freeway's from Germany. So you can have some schnapps, take a couple of shots of schnapps, jump back in the car, relax, probably even have a shower, and then come back out and still be ahead of Yoda.
Yep. That seems pretty accurate there. Mikhail sets the fastest lap for a third lap in a row and improves by 0.4 or 0.5 on that lap. So, as he will get DRS on Dick Tucker this lap as well.
Yep, some exciting battles as I hit the wrong button, as I usually do. However,
Do you think that Mikhail can catch Yoda here? It's only 4 seconds.
Does a wombat poop square poop, shall we say?
I have no idea.
It does. A wombat actually squares.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, as they're passing some back markers, I believe it is there. No, he's not. He's all in the back there. Let's go on board to Tucker. Yes, as a fellow Australian, I have absolute 150% confidence in my other Australian drivers to not let the country down. So I'm sure if anybody can do it, Mikhail can do it.
Well, that's great to hear. As he will get DRS out of this final corner. Let's see if he can get the move done on Dick Tucker. Great exit there. Tons of speed. I'm sure he'll be... Well, he doesn't look like he's using any of his ERS. But very close to Dick Tucker now. We'll see if he makes a move into turn 2 and 3.
I'm actually having some major problems right now trying to switch on my camera. Thank you, Codemasters. Chen Jace has passed his lap. And I'm expecting right now, we're lap 27 or 36. I'm sure that Freeware is probably... What's this battle of Mikhail and Dick Tucker? He's like, Mikhail's now just sizing him up.
Yeah, they got very close there. Mikhail had to back off a bit to avoid the contact.
Oh, it's still laggy, unfortunately, to some people who are reporting on Twitch. I'm not quite sure. I do have a fiber connection. It's very, very fast. Perhaps I'm running too much stuff in the background than I generally do. So
Yeah,
I do apologize
if it isn't a network issue, it must be a hardware issue.
Yeah.
So.
But I've just upgraded my hardware recently, so I'm surprised. Anyway, Dick Glover's is making a move past Chenjay. These guys are battling it out here again. We've seen this many, many times before. Duck Lovers falling back into the Chen J.
He'll get the DRS though. Unfortunately, he uses all his ERS, so he's not going to get too much of a boost there.
Very defensive. Where can he go? Around the outside is not going to work. Was
Oh,
somebody exiting
as
box at the same time?
pile of garbage. Yeah, that
Oh.
was that pile of garbage exiting the pits there?
It was somebody else exactly. Yeah, it looked like somebody was exiting the pit at the same time. I was on board with Duck Lovers as he was battling right now with Chen J. And these guys have battled many times on track right now. Not in this track, I believe, but we seem the Duck Lovers pace in the wet conditions, but now he's falling off a little bit. And I think we just commentated Kirsten because he got another time penalty. So, poor Duck Lovers, but we do like the Duck Lovers.
Mikal, your fellow Aussie, gets past Dick Tucker.
Good call. Thank you very much. I expect nothing less from the Australian driver, and he has made it stick, and he gets his podium position. But, however, I think that's probably all he could do this evening, depending on the penalty situation with Yoda. That Yoda would have to have a lot of penalty situations if it was going to affect Mikal. But Dick Tucker is still Dick Tucker. We've seen him. He has won races. He's not going to let Mikal just get his final podium position. Freeway picks up a time penalty, but that is not going to be a problem for him. Plenty of time right now.
Yeah, he might not be able to take the shower on the pit stop anymore.
Take a shower on the pit stop, exactly. Take a snap shower too, like that.
Yeah, he might have to multitask.
So good battle still. It's been exciting, like lap 29 and 36. It's almost feeling this race is just going forever and ever and ever. As Dick Tucker's on the curbs a little bit too much, man. It's not about Brit. It's not about the. It's about hitting the apex there, Dick Tucker. It's not about the Britex, shall we say, if you were in Silverstone. So.
Yeah. Looks like Mikal has. Oh, he had gains. Let's see. Looks like he gained 0.6 on Yoda ahead, so he might be able to.
Yeah, big slide out of there. I'm gonna have to step away for 1 second. I will be back in 1 minute. I'll quickly check on something.
Okay, no problems. As it looks like we're on board with Dick Tucker trying to get a little closer to Mikal. We'll see, these hards are now 14 laps old, so they're not quite at their peak performance. But as we see them approach a back marker here, those always are a bit of an issue to clear with the ghosting. Even the ghosting is a bit distracting there for the back markers. Can throw the driver off.
I am back, yes, exactly, you're right. The ghosting is a big, it still throws you off visually, even though you know you can go through them.
I feel like they could make it a little more transparent.
I mean, at the end of the day, probably not even have the ghosting and just have them try to get past back markers, but we've seen the major issues with that in the past.
Yeah. Dick Tucker closing in a bit on Mikal here. He hasn't really dropped back too far.
Yeah, I feel that he has not given up yet, as Steven's going to make a place there. P12, is he going to get past Lewis? Poor Lewis, man, he's dropped all the way back now to P13.
Yeah, Mikal has made up a second that last lap, as Dick Tucker sets the fastest lap now with a 1:11. So we're seeing these track conditions improve rapidly, as well as with the tire wear on these hards. So they're definitely reaching some top performance with these cars.
I did suspect that Dick was not impressed about being passed by my countryman, so he's doing everything he can possibly do right now to try to regain that position. He knows there's a podium, and I'm unfortunately able to give you any of the penalty situations, but right now, if this is the situation... Oh, there's freeway boxes, and that is Freeware's going to go for the fastest lap because he easily has a pit stop in hand, and he does. Boxes for the softs. Luckily for him, there's no chance of any mistakes from any of his mechanics with a sticky wheel nut gun or failures in the pit stop or delays or whatever. He's going to go back out and comfortably in P1 and go for the fastest lap.
Yep, the gap now down to 1.6 seconds between Mikal and Yoda. So I think with 4 laps to go, 4 laps to go now, I think he can do it.
Well, if it's my man, Mr. Macau, I know he can. He's also pulling Dick Tucker along as well. So he has to remember that any mistake he possibly makes that could cost him both P3 and P4. Chenjo's a little further down the road, but going as we're in lap 32 or 36, at some point, these guys they're not happy with a P2 or a P3. They want as high as they possibly can get on the podium.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting a comment here where your camera seems to lag whenever you're not on the onboard camera. So maybe if you switch to onboards only,
Thank you.
we'll see some improvement there.
Well, let's do that. Let's see if that works. I'm surprised. I did upgrade, but thank you there, Recraft. Thanks, Recraft. That's unfortunate, but I hope I don't have to do that every time. I'll work on these settings.
Yeah, it might just be like some drivers need updating or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I had turned the telemetry software off to avoid these potential problems. But, and also record streaming the Sonic Team itself. I have to pause this for 1 second. Maybe this will help.
Macau is now in DRS range of Yoda. So I think we'll see a move come either this lap or the next. So he might have a lap to spare here to get past. Of course, Dick Tucker's only 1 second behind Macau, so Yoda could end up losing out on a podium position here. So he has to be careful and defend for his life here.
Yeah, I'm not changing any windows. I'm not alt-tabbing. I'm actually, this is in a windowed mode game right now. So,
ooh, as Macau makes a mistake and almost spins there. So we're seeing him trying to push as hard as he can. He almost threw it all away there.
Yeah, that's an unusual move there from the Macau. He's usually a man that doesn't make mistakes, and he's certainly a man that manages his tyres. Unfortunately, I won't get much tyre telemetry information, but I know
Dick Tucker
he's
gets
doing a good job. Yep.
Yeah, Dick Tucker gets a 3-second time penalty, so that'll cost him any hope of a podium there. Unfortunate for him.
Now we go three-way battle there. Yoda, Macau, and Dick Tucker. Everybody wants that second step on the podium, pending the penalty situation, which we will not disclose anyway until the end of the race. This is big excited about where they are currently on track right now.
Yeah, he's only 0.3 down here through the first sector. We'll see if he can maintain the pace with Yoda to hopefully get a chance for an overtake on the final home stretch. But keeping it clean here through Sector 2. These corners, as we mentioned, are very difficult to gauge with the late apexes. But gets DRS here in one of the 2 DRS zones. Inch a little bit closer to Yoda. Right on his gearbox as we now head for the last 2 corners. We'll see, this is an important exit here. Both of them get a pretty decent exit there. We'll see as Macau uses all his ERS here into the first corner. We'll see if he can pull it off. Nope. Looks like he will play it safe and go for an overtake on the last lap.
Gonna save his ERS now. This is it. Is this gonna be Macau time? Is this gonna be Dick Tucker time? Or is Yoda gonna be the man that makes that Renault as wide as he possibly can? Freeware has this race in the bag. Pending penalties, knowing Freeware, he's not going to have a lot of penalties anywhere. So that top step will be to the German driver. However, we're on board with this major battle here between Yoda, Emerald, Dick Tucker, and Chenjay could possibly even slip in there if somebody makes a spin as well. So let's see how this is going to pan out in the final couple of corners before they head into the final lap of the race.
Yep, only 0.4 down now. We'll see how close he can get before that final home straight, which is, I think, his most the best chance he's going to have, I think, of an overtake. As Yoda goes a little bit wide there, that'll cost him a little bit of exit speed. He might be able to pull it off. It looks like he has a good speed advantage on Yoda. We'll see what way he chooses. Goes down the inside. Both of them braking extremely late, but side by side as Yoda maintains the position going around the outside, but ooh, both avoiding contact there. Probably Smart of Mikhail to pull out a bit there at the end, but that will cost him probably that second position. Doesn't look like he'll be able to get the overtake as he goes. Loses about 5/10 there, having to brake and pull out of that overtake.
This is the absolute make or break right now. These drivers, so you want to sniff a podium, you have to do whatever you possibly can. We know Mikhail has the podium spot, but he's got all the pressure there, where Yodim actually has the P2. So this is like all these drivers right now, what can they get? Somebody wants a podium spot as the freeware crosses the line, but unfortunately freeware, we're not going to get this. We're not going to watch you cross the line as you've already driven a superb race. What can Dick Tucker do in the final couple of corners? He's got to try everything he can in the Ferrari. Try to get past Mikhail, put a lot of pressure on him. It looks like very easy for Yoda to resume P2 pending penalties.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to get the overtake done. I think we'll see the position stand as is.
And there you have it.
Yoda. Looks like Yoda had a time penalty.
Yoda had a time penalty.
So Mikhail didn't need to pressure him too hard there. He might not have known that penalty ahead, but he ends up with P2 after a great race.
Perhaps Yoda, the force was not as strong as Master Yoda. So that dropped him back into P3. Great result there from Mikhail. Unfortunately, couldn't challenge Freeware for the win. We're going to go on board to Freeware there because Freeware has driven superbly the whole race. He has that Schumacher-esque, being the German driver, controlling, dominating it, and also setting the fastest lap, I believe, towards the end, as expected, because he had a pit stop in hand. That's how much he dominated this race. This is Freeware just saying, you know what, guys? He has that nice German helmet there as well. But Ionides gets your driver of the day. Good job there, Ionides. Getting some points there for a Ferrari. But there it is. Celebrate. So that was your race. In fact, you could take a selfie, probably still have 3 or 4 minutes while you wait for all the other drivers to park their cars in Parc Fermé. Spray the champagne. It's your race, sir. So good job. Let's have a look at how everybody had finished in this crazy changeable conditions race, which is great. Freeware, as we just mentioned, Mikhail, the Aussie driver, moving up into P2 there because of Yoda's time penalties. Good job for Mikhail not picking up time penalties. TikTok picked up time penalty there. Finished P4. Chen no time penalties. P5. Duck Lovers there. Great battling all the way along. Unfortunately, he dropped back into P6. Pile of Garbage had done a great job there, starting from P8. Swifty there with some time penalties. Good, also a really good job. P8 up to P16. Ionides is your driver of the day from 18th on the grid up into 9th place. And Solo will finish out the last points paying positions. Stephen, Adrian there with some disconnection issues. Lewis, AJ, Sniffy, Perganator, Prodigy, and Sapphire round out your drivers for this race. A lot of Americans in this race, which is great. A lot of late night racing as well. But the German dominates it. So absolutely fantastic. We're going to have it to driver interviews in a minute. So what an absolute exciting race. And as expected there, we had a absolute dominating race. Well, actually not expected, but Freeware it had shown the pace there. Macau as well coming through strong in the end with the Aussie power as I was commentating him along there. So, yeah, I'll go over to you there. Nihai, as you want to speak with, I believe, Freeware, our race winner.
Yeah, congratulations on the win. Great race there. We didn't really see what happened on the start. I don't know if what was going on behind you, but I think we saw Dick Tucker as well as Mikau, I think, kind of spun there at the start. So from your position, did you see any of that? And then what were your general thoughts on the race?
No, from the incident, I didn't really see anything. I was just the first, like, on the intestine. I was keeping like 5 seconds ahead of Yoda, and all of the sudden, after I pitted for mediums, and every other driver pitted for hards, and I was like, the hards are probably not going to heat up. So I gained about 15 seconds on Yoda in the. Yeah, I'm stupid.
Yeah, we saw you make that switch.
I made the gap to like 15 seconds or 20 seconds because his hearts obviously didn't heat up.
Yeah.
And then I think he got like lag or something, and he lost like 7 seconds out of the sudden. Although he didn't crash or something, and that gave me then a position to go on softs and finish the race with the fastest lap.
Yeah, we saw a couple disconnections there with some of the people in the top 3 that ended up costing them quite a few positions. But congratulations on your win and dominating performance there.
Thanks.
Mikau, on to you. I guess you were involved in the incident there on the start. Do you have any comments on what happened there?
Oh, I haven't seen the rest of the footage yet, but no, I got a pretty good second phase on the start. There was a gap opening up on the inside of turn 1, and then, next thing I knew, I felt a jolt, from my left side pod, and then, then I was around with an orange wing, and then last. So, yeah, I haven't seen exactly what happened. No, but I just went for the gap was there and it wasn't closing. Like Dick Tucker left me the space. I'm not quite sure what happened from his perspective, but no, after that it was just a matter of first fixing the wing, getting used to the conditions, and then just trying to make my way through the field as quickly and as cleanly as I could.
Yeah, and then moving on towards the end of the race, we saw you closing that gap. First, you overtook Dick Tucker there with, I think, 3 laps to go, 3 or 4 laps to go. And then moving on to Yoda there, you were, I think, had like a 4-second gap and you were closing it by a second every lap. How did that go down? I think on the last lap there, you tried to overtake. Just kind of what happened there. We saw you kind of pull out of the overtake there to I guess, preserve your front wing there. But did you know that he had a time penalty ahead of you to end up getting that second position?
I didn't know until the last lap about the time penalty. I knew Dick Tucker had a time penalty behind me, so I wasn't too concerned about him unless he went for an opportunistic move and took us both out, which would have been unfortunate. But thankfully that didn't happen. And yeah, I went for a move I think on lap 34 or 35. That I just didn't have the overspeed I needed to really make the move stick. But yeah, no, I was able to get that speed in the end, and just kept my nose clean the rest of the race, and brought home a good result. So happy in terms of the championship. I think Chen Jie finished 5th or something like that. So it puts me in a strong position heading into the next round.
Well, congratulations to both of you. Great racing, and we'll look forward to seeing you all race again next week.
Thanks.
Good job. Thank you, Freeware. Thank you, Mikau. Yeah, exactly. Great. And once again, Nihai, an absolute legend, as I said earlier in the broadcast. You are the man.